If you look back how the world was last year or 5 years ago, the world is changing and the world is unstable. And I think if you watch this video, you're probably in the same situation as me. It starts making you feel uncomfortable. I watched a video of Chris from City Prepping. I'll link his video in the comments. And he made me think again. It's not the first video of that episode of that series I saw, and I started doing things, but he made me realize that I'm not where I want to be for this summer. He pointed out how many problems we might run into this summer. Even the FBI does acknowledge that the on governments in the systems of the water supply and the hospitals and the government and cyber attacks. So that's a real spontaneous video. I want to talk about a couple things I was thinking about and I'm planning. Hi, my name is Karen from Prepared and Sustainable Living. I make videos about emergency preparedness, gardening, homesteading, hunting, fishing, and a variety of outdoor activities like foraging, camping, and more. So, as I was watching this video, I was starting to realize that I am not ready for any of those problems. I'm not ready for more inflation, for cyber attacks, for extreme weather, for disasters, for power outages, and not as much as I want to be ready. So I took some time today. The weather is nice, and he's sitting back here being all focused on his stuff. And I was starting to think about how I can be better prepared. And while I'm going into things that are for specific scenarios I came up with, what really is a big thing for me, I do want to get more and more into is making my own food. We are preparing the garden, so there are going to come videos up for gardening. I do, as you can see, a lot with foraging, more and more lately, because that's what I have right here in my yard. I can pick it, I can use it. I don't have to go to the store and pay money for it. But for all of the sudden being offline or cyber attacks, well, about a week ago, a week and a half ago, uh, we all of the sudden were offline for many hours. And I was realizing, wait, I do have nothing. I did not have a list of FM radios or on radio channels on my TV where I can say, okay, I listen to radio here. All the music I had downloaded from various platforms were on my cloud. Not the smartest way to be. Most of my important documents, which I have in paper form, especially as an immigrant who has documents from the lawyer and stuff coming in, they are on my cloud or on my laptop, which I cannot print out either because it's wireless connected. I was sitting here and thinking, well, I cannot even study for school because my books and my PDFs, instead of downloading them, what I would have done, I will use them right online and do my homework there and can do nothing. So what I started then was I was starting making me an offline folder. I'm still working on it, and if you want, I can absolutely make a video about it, how I do that. But essentially, it has all the things in I'm gonna need if I cannot get online. Contact information, important documents, resources, how-to guides I could use, things like that. But I can make a video out of it if you would like to. Another thing I'm doing more now in case I am the victim of a cyber attack is checking on a regular basis that my antivirus is up to date. I would like to get a VPN soon. Right now I don't have one, but that's definitely a helpful tool. I do need to get sure I have backups, also offline backups of really important documents, which I not always have. make copies of documents I already have offline, like driver's license, passport, and stuff like that, and put them in a folder too. Is important for many other scenarios I'm going to come up with later, like extreme weather, tornadoes, floods, other things. That's always important to have, which would be in my offline folder anyway. So that is kind of offline, and the emergency folder that I'm creating. I can make a video about the emergency folder to make emergency plans and backup plans and stuff like that. Let me know if you want to see stuff like that. If um, critical supplies are getting cyber attacked, which a chance it's much bigger than someone's making a cyber attack on small little me, who is kind of unimportant for most of the people. Like water supply, power supply, hospitals, government. Like I said earlier, check out Chris's videos about the FBI even acknowledging that they are in the systems and trying to stay in there, and they can't get them out. Check those videos out. I'll link his channel in the description below with the video I was talking about earlier. But what if they have a cyber attack? What if I cannot go to the hospital if there's an emergency? What if the water supply crashes? Well, the water supply isn't a big problem for me because I do not have city water. We have a well, so. But if your water supply goes out, you want to get sure you have some water ready. You want to get sure that you, what I will do too, having water ready, and do cut down on water usage if supply goes down, because we don't have a ton of extra water neither. So having a plan of cutting where to cut down water, knowing where you use a lot of water and where you can save water is really important, and I'm really going to make an analysis of that too. Another thing that's going to be is, what if the hospital is getting attacked and you can't go to the hospital? Well, that's the same thing as if there is a disaster, an emergency, or something like that. You do need to have first aid skills. You do need to have a certain amount of your medications at home. You do need to have certain skills about home remedies. I'm gonna make a lot more videos about that because it's important for me to have my tea plants, to know the plants that are beneficial for me. I can just, if I need them, I can go out there, out in my yard, and get some yarrow and use it against toothache if I cannot go to a dentist because he got a cyber attacked or whatever. Having an emergency plan is going to be important for that one as well as any other scenario coming up. So I'm not going to bring the emergency plan up again. And collaborate with your neighbors is always going to be important too. It doesn't matter which scenario it is. So get to know your neighbors, get together, even if you are not best friends and all that. If the emergency comes up, you might be happy to have someone around you can work together with. So what if that goes into the next scenario? Uh, Power outage, which would also say it can happen because the power company got a cyber attack, or because you do have a power outage because of disasters, or because of a heat wave and everybody uses it and it's overused and it's getting an outage. There are different ways where you can get a power outage. The most important things for me to have, because we are not having a portable generator, which is right now not in the budget for us, or a solar system, which is also not in the budget for us right now, is having flashlights and batteries. We are really low on batteries, so we normally have rechargeable batteries, which are nice and they're gonna last a while, but what if we need batteries longer than for that? Having candles around is important. We do have always a couple of candles somewhere we could use. They are not gonna give a ton of light, but it's still better than nothing. Having a couple offline games is not only if you're family, but especially if you're family, is always a good idea. You need to be entertained, your kids need to be entertained. And be aware, if you don't have power, you don't have internet, so you don't have access to your online PDF books to read. So you want to have the most important information you need and the how-tos offline. Gonna make a lot of those how-tos in a future for me on paper. So let me know if you want to see some of that. I can make a couple how-to videos or make the guides available I'm creating. If there's a disaster, well, that depends pretty much on what disaster you're normally getting. We had more tornado alerts and warnings this year than we had in the last couple of years, but we never had a tornado. So, tornado could be a bigger option for us. Theoretically, in our town, there are flash floods coming on more. Rivers got over the got over a lot lately, but our house is in the wrong spot that we will get flash floods like that. But maybe you will. Hurricanes can be a problem. Earthquakes can be a problem. You alone know which disasters are um, in your area popular, or if you don't, let me know. I can make a video how to assess your situation, which I'm redoing right now to get my emergency plan up and running to the new standards we have right now. The problem of inflation that is going to get bigger again is getting a little bit in the things I already said earlier. I do try to make my own vegetables. I do try to have my home remedies. What I what we do a lot more is what we already do a lot is fishing and go hunting. Like I said, I have a bird dog sitting right there. He's more than happy to go out and go bird hunting more again. Uh, my boyfriend did trapping in the past. We could go and do trapping again. You can stockpile some things. Be aware. A lot of people say, well, if his fans go out and go hunting. Well, you cannot just go out and go hunting. Did you ever shoot an animal? That's not as easy as it sounds. Did you ever go hunting? Do you know how to hunt? You cannot just say, well, I buy a gun. I never shot it before. I just go out and get a deer real quick. So you have to have additional plans. What if you cannot go hunting? Because you never did it, because you're in the city. There are other options, but you need to think about them in advance. Stockpiling some things are definitely an idea. And for that, check out my emergency kit video. That's gonna help a lot about that area. There are a lot of other videos like that out there to inform yourself, get yourself. Uh, Work with deals. Get extra when you have a good deal. Get extra when you have a coupon fund to avoid being too much caught by the inflation. And the extreme weather. Well, we go in the same things again we already did. If it's a heat wave, for example, get sure that you have a weather radio that's battery powered and have battery. Get sure that you have the curtains closed during the heat of the day if you're in a heat wave. And maybe the heat wave can give you a power outage. The heat wave can stop making the AC stop work. So then you need to have other ways to do. Get some water now, because if the heat wave is here, you're not going to get water in the store anymore because everybody buys it. On a long term, you can get sure you have enough shade trees in your yard. Shade from a tree is giving you much more shade and cooling than artificial shade. An umbrella is never cool that nicely as a tree would. So having shade trees around is always a good idea. Yeah, rivers and lakes always. But be aware, probably a lot of people on the next river when it's getting really hot because they want to get cooled down too. So you need to calculate with all those things too. That are just my thoughts I'm gonna work on right now, getting myself a little bit more ready for the things that are might gonna come up in the future. There's still the idea of Russia, Israel, which brings the U.S. into a war problem or a conflict situation. So that's still an option too. Uh, the ideas that are good for all scenarios together is go fishing, learn to gardening, learn to forage, have supply stock up at least a little bit, have an emergency plan. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for the next video. Let me know which of those ideas I have you want to know more about. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to prepare for those scenarios. Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for listening to my ramble. It was more talking video than anything else. But there was a spontaneous idea about how I want to prepare for what's coming because it made me worry. And if you enjoyed that, and if you're worried about the emergency situation and the changing situation as I am, check out this video about the 72 hours emergency kit I made. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, stay prepared and sustainable.